Welcome to our final At the Net segment with Connor Onion. We are talking to the champs today. They just clinched on Friday, the Northern Iowa Panthers with head coach Bobbi Petersen. Coach, thanks for doing this fresh off the clinch. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's been fun. It's been a grind, but I'm just super proud of this team and what we've been able to accomplish this year, and just obviously have a lot more we want to do.
Yeah, of course, NCAA tournament, MVC tournament ahead for you guys. I wanted to start there with where you guys are at. As of this morning, you guys are 40th in the RPI. I know it's not something you probably want to think about, but if you do get to that spot where we're talking about net large, what would your argument be for you and I getting in?
Yeah, I think, actually, Connor, that's something that we think about every year as we're scheduling. We try to put together a schedule to give us the best opportunity to do that. And so we schedule tough, and it's not scheduling tough just to play teams. We want to go out and beat teams. And this year, when you look at our schedule early, we played a lot of really good teams, and we have some wins in the top 50. We have top teams in our wins in the top 100 as well. And Ryan went over those with me. I try not to think a lot about that kind of stuff during the year. Jason does a really good job of keeping up with that. So he lets me know things when I need to know things, but I'm more of a one day at a time kind of person. And that's the way I'm wired and I do best. But and our winning streak, I think, helps with that. But just, it's so hard because we put in a lot of work to get ourselves to a position to be able to be considered. And that is a focus at the beginning of the season. And I'm proud of our kids and the work they put in to be able to do that. So hopefully we'd be in high consideration for that. But like you said, that is not on our mind right now. Our goal is to go out and have a really good match against Drake at home for our last match of the regular season and for our seniors as well. And then get to that conference tournament and compete hard in that.
Yeah, 18 match winning streak for you. That was the one that you referenced, fifth longest in the country right now. Coach, you've won now 11 championships as the head coach as of Friday. What about this group, though, is unique about some of those compared to some of those other championship teams?
Yeah, I think, Connor, the cool thing about this group is it's a lot of work obviously goes in by a lot of teams, and most people just think about the on-court things and getting better at all the skills and strategies and game planning and things like this. But our group really believes that you have to have edges in other ways. And so to give yourself the best opportunity to win, there's a lot of other things that go into that. And our crew has put so much work and time and effort into the off-court things that translate on court. So we do a lot of things with team building, and it's not just to have fun and build like that, but it's to be able to build that trust, to build that confidence in each other. Leadership training, it's not, you don't just go in and be a leader. You got to figure out ways to get outside your comfort zone, but still be true to who you are as a leader. We don't want any fake leadership, but that kind of stuff takes intentional effort and intentional work. And our kids do a great job of that, starting right away in January. They are on those types of things. So as much as they work their tails off in the weight room and strength and conditioning and on the court, they're working just as hard at those other things because they truly believe in the importance of that. And I think that's been really fun with this group. There is not one person. We have a 19 team roster, and that's a lot of student athletes. And I can guarantee you there's not one person on that roster that doesn't know and understand their importance to what we're doing and where we're going. And I think that's a special thing because it's not just that person, but it's the group allowing them to feel that. And I think that goes a long way. Obviously, it doesn't completely win games. You got to do the things on the volleyball court, but it does give you an edge in different ways.
Who would you say your strongest leader is?
That's tough because we have a group of 6 that I would say is our leadership crew, and they're all so different. And I think that's what's special about it because they all are able to bring different things. So I look at Emily, and she has always been that person that has been lead by example. I don't think I've had a student athlete that has done things more right than Emily because it's nutrition, it's sleep, it's all the things. And people can be really good at the training, but they don't sleep well and they don't eat right. But she just does everything. But she has just taken it to a whole different level this year and is now holding people accountable, which is probably the hardest thing as a leader to do in this day and age, is to hold your teammates accountable with different things. And she is on a mission. She has changed in that way and is now bringing people along with her instead of just being that example. When you look at Taylor, she's that silent leader. She's just always like this. It doesn't matter if she's doing really well or struggling, or the team's doing well or struggling. She's just that even keeled person that you really need out there. So she brings that kind of leadership. Kaylissa, she's by far the energy person. And that's all she wants to bring in leadership. But it's cool because we have other people around her that can bring the other things. So even as a fifth year senior, it's not easy to bring that energy every time, because what we've talked about, you have to bring it every time, because when you're not bringing it, then something's wrong. And then you're not bringing that intangible gift that you have. And Olivia is another one of our leaders who she just takes control on the court. Especially we had some new people in blocking, and we block scheme a lot. So you have to be able to know what you're doing out there. And we try not to give more than what you can handle, but Olivia helps us be able to give a little bit more to some of our younger kids that haven't had that experience. So just a true leader like that. And she brings some great energy too. So just a wide mix of people that can do a lot of different things for us, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to narrow it down to just one.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's good. And I think that takes the pressure off of people as well.
Yeah. You mentioned your setter, Taylor Alden. How do you feel about how she's distributed and run the offense?
Yeah, I think what makes Taylor special is that she's just somebody that you have to pay attention to herself as an offensive weapon. And so she really is able to open up a lot of things because of that. But her decision making and her growth. So when she first came in, it was a lot of giving her the information, telling her who to set, what to do, and learning obviously why. But now I don't think Jason really tells her a lot. Maybe during timeouts, we give her some information, or if things aren't going well, maybe throw a different play or a different scheme in there for her. But she is the decision maker out there, and she's not looking to the bench for what play to run. She knows her team, she studies the other team, so what's going to work best with the other team. Obviously we talk about it, but she's somebody that's grown so much in her volleyball IQ. We're trying to run a few different throughout her time. We've done a lot of different speeds of the set, and that's really hard as a setter to keep changing that. But I think what we do a good job of is try to really look at the personnel we have and try to run the best offense for that. And sometimes that for the setter, that can be very challenging. But if you have hitters that can't hit certain things, you want to put them in the best situation possible. So she's done a really good job of adjusting to the different types of hitters that she's had over the years, for sure.
You guys have obviously had a spectacular season. You've played so well. As a head coach, I'm sure you're always looking for things that you can push your team on. What's one of those things right now as you look ahead to postseason here in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I would just say, Connor, like just consistency, in everything, because there's moments of really good in a lot of different areas of the game. And so it's just working really hard to be consistent with that. I don't think there's just one area of the game that it's like, okay, we've never seen that, we need to be better at that. It's just being consistent with those things, because I think offensively we're probably further along this year than we thought we would be with certain things. So that's been fun. Maybe adding a little bit more I don't know, different plays in there, because I think what happens is when we get into matches, we kind of just stay with what we're comfortable with, even though we've practiced a lot of different things. You always go back to what you're comfortable with when the stress is on. So maybe just being a little bit more risky with some of the plays that we run, and just especially because you're playing people for the second time, and now going in the conference tournament the third time. So I know all of us have each other scouted upside down and inside out. And so just being able to conference tournament time, being able to throw some different things in there, I think would be a real positive for our team.
Coach, I was thinking when we hopped on this morning, maybe you'd have like Missouri Valley Championship trophies behind you, something like that. There's looks like a cowboy hat behind you. What's going on in the background?
Yeah, I'm in one of my daughter's rooms, but I will show you this because she's a Panther fan, so I should have been sitting there, but that's in her bed, so I really didn't want to sit in her bed. So yeah, I apologize for that. Have something I have to do here at home later, so I did the call from home.
I'm sure people watching were wondering about what was in the back, but
Yeah.
Add a little personality to the backdrop. I appreciate it.
Yeah, couldn't find a spot. This was the best one.
Oh, I love it. Well, hey, congratulations on a great season so far, and looking forward to seeing where the postseason takes you.
All right. Thank you so much, Connor. Appreciate your time.
All right, that's head coach of the UNI Panthers, Bobbi Petersen, here on At the Net.